This speaker has been recorded at a meeting of Addictive Eaters Anonymous. For more information, visit our website www.aeainfo.org.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm an addictive eater. I'd like to start with a couple of paragraphs from the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. On page 52, the bedevilments. We had to ask ourselves why we shouldn't apply to our human problems the same readiness to change our point of view. We were having trouble with personal relationships. We couldn't control our emotional natures. We were prey to misery and depression. We couldn't make a living. We had a feeling of uselessness. We were full of fear. We were unhappy. We couldn't seem to be of real help to other people. Was not a basic solution of these bedevilments more important than whether we should see newsreels of lunar flight? Of course it was. I thought the bedevilments was a good place to start if I just share a little bit about what it was like, because most of the problem with my addictive eating wasn't so much the eating, was my difficulty with life. And so when I first read those, I identified with all of them. I don't know why I had so much trouble in all those areas right from when I was very little. I believe that I was born with this problem, and it basically got worse, and I became a failed anorexic. That's how I felt about myself, which is so sad looking back, because I couldn't control and enjoy my eating. I always thought I was a big failure. So thankfully it got bad enough, and thankfully I had all those problems, because it meant that I was desperate when I got here. And it meant that when I heard there is a solution, there was a part of my heart which I believe a higher power spoke to, so that I could hear there is a way out. And I'm so grateful for the message that was carried to me. The other little snippet I wanted to read was about Bill Wilson's story on page 13. He talks about how all his problems were solved with this solution. Final paragraph. My friend promised when these things were done, I would enter upon a new relationship with my Creator, that I would have the elements of a way of living which answered all my problems. And I just love that all of those problems can be solved. Difficulty with other people, difficulty making a living, my emotional ups and downs, they can all be solved in this program. I remember when I first got here, I thought that I needed about 5 12-step programs. I thought I needed Al-Anon, I thought I needed love and some Relationships Anonymous or whatever. I thought I needed help with money. I knew I needed AA, and of course with food. And it was shared with me, if I got sober from food, then all those other problems would get better. And that has certainly been true, because I've been given so much help in this program. Just being back here for this trip, I've been blown away once again by how generous everybody is and how much everybody helps me. Love and service and action in this fellowship. It's really remarkable to be around, and with the help of the fellowship and the 12 steps, then I too get to have this wonderful life. I was saying to my sponsor today about problems, and she said, there aren't problems, they're experiences. I love that idea too, that even when I make mistakes, hopefully I can learn from them and share with others my experiences so that we can have this life together. I love it when people share in meetings about how they've screwed up. That's one of my favorite themes, when people talk about just daily life. I know for me, I can never hear the message enough about keeping my mouth shut. I love that message, because things pass. When I blurt things out and then cause harm, I regret it. I find at home I keep my mouth shut maybe 9 times out of 10. The 10th time I still say things I probably shouldn't have, but it's a hell of a lot better than me listening to my head all the time and coming from that place of the little mind and all its little daily niggles and negativities. If I speak from that place, it's just not nice to be around poor Andrew. So I'm so grateful for the example that's here, and like it shared a relationship with my Creator. I too was saying I like the word experiences instead of relationship. Experiences with a higher power, God giving me what I need, not having to eat today, being overpaid and blessed, and things working out perfectly. All those things come about just from being here and being open to the solutions. I wish I could share it with everyone, and I wish everyone could have the opportunity to not have to eat addictively if they're like me and struggle with this disease. It was so nice with these friends that are staying with us, and they asked just quietly about my food plan, and then we all went out to dinner and there was somebody else with the same food plan, and it was great because they could see that it's just such a small part of what we do, and to me it's a pretty insignificant part. It's important to get sober from food, but the most important part is how I act in all areas of my life, not in the fact that I chop carrots and have lots of fruit and vegetables on my food plan. That just doesn't seem as important as everything else about this way of life. Thank you very much.